Hare Krishna. Yeah. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girvaradari Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girvaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girvaradari Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girvaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Nandana Brajana Ranjana Munatira Nachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girvaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girvaradari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra Devi. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnu-pada Paramahamsa Parijaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Śrīmad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnu-pada Paramahamsa Parijaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Śrīmad, His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिर गोवर्धन धाम की, वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, वृंददेव तुलसी महारानी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, सामवेद भक्त गौर वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrutyam naranjaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirya nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha namo vishnupadaya krishna prishtaya bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Patyatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatubhasya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome you all for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. So, let me confess few things that I am not at all eligible person to sit on this Vyasadeva. I don't have any qualification. So when I read the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam second chapter or third chapter, Srila Prabhupada clearly writes that what is the qualification one can give the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam lectures. So when I read that, I felt that I am not at all qualified, any of them. But at least, as a service to all the Vaishnavas, I took this opportunity to get myself purified. That is the mood of having, sitting before all of you. Please pray for me to progress in my spiritual journey. Hare Krishna. So today we will discuss Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 2, entitled as the Cosmic Manifestation, and the Chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnation with the Specific Functions, right? So before we start the verse, so we'll understand what is the context so that everyone can correlate what we are going to discuss. Okay, I'll give some background so that you can quickly understand what we are discussing. Of course, you all are following, but still, for my understanding, I am just repeating, how it is started, what is the conversation between whom it is happening. This conversation is happening between Lord Brahma and Sage Narada. And the Sage Narada, or Narada Muni, asks certain question to Lord Brahma. How the cosmic manifestation created and how it is maintained. And several questions he posed to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, as a part of answering to his questions, he is narrating all these incarnations of Lord Vishnu. And it is this chapter is also a part of conversation between Lord Brahma and Sage Narada. And he started with this chapter is talking about how Lord Brahma is narrating Narada Muni about the various incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And when he comes to this material world, what he does. And how he will protect his devotees. How he will re-establish dharmic principles, and how he will remove the miscreants, or how he will punish the miscreants. That is what the essence of this chapter. And he also, Lord Brahma also glorifying Lord Vishnu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who manifest in various forms for the welfare of this universe. Okay, we all know that Lord Vishnu is maintaining this universe. So he takes various incarnation to maintain this universe, for welfare of this universe. And he is also emphasizing, Lord Brahma also emphasizing that all these incarnations are eternal and transcendental and beyond our material limitations. With our material limitation, we will not be able to understand these incarnations. That is the reason we should always hear all this transcendental knowledge from the disciplic succession. That is the importance of a disciplic succession. Otherwise, we will be deviated from the essence of the scriptures. With that, and even you can find the similar passage in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. I think Krishna is telling to Arjuna that when he comes, why he comes. He says that paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskrutam dharma samsthapanadaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He will come. Similar, right? What Brahma is saying here, same thing Krishna was telling to Arjuna in Kurukshetra. Similar passage. And Lord Brahma also started explaining all the incarnations. Why we have to hear Lord's pastimes? Any idea? Why we have to hear Lord's pastimes? Correct. We will get purified. Even in the same chapter, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, transcendental knowledge, he is saying that one who hears the transcendental nature of my birth and transcendental activities will go back to the spiritual world. After leaving their body, they will come to me, Mameti. He is specifically emphasizing that. They will come to Mameti. They will come to abode of Lord. So they will not take any birth in this material world. And if you continue reading the chapter 4, you can understand that's how liberated soul followed. With that knowledge, they followed previous acharyas. So Krishna is advising Arjuna also follow the similar path, so that he can also be liberated from this material world. And Lord Brahma is explaining various incarnations starting from Varaha. This chapter begins with Varaha Avatara, and Lord incarnated as a Varaha and a boar incarnation, and to lift the earth planet which was submerged in the ocean, the great ocean of Garbhodaka. Because of the Hiranyaksha, activities, the earth planet, the complete earth planet submerged into the ocean. Then Lord has incarnated as a Varaha, and he lifted back from that Garbhodaka ocean, and he killed the Hiranyaksha. And later, Lord incarnated as a Suyajna, right? Yajna. And being son of Prajapati and mother Akuti. And he removed many of the miseries, great miseries from all the planets, upper, lower and intermediate. Wherever he goes, he removed all the miseries. That is one of the reasons he was called as a Hari by his father Swayambhava Manu. Okay, then Lord incarnated as a Kapila Muni, Kapil Maharshi. And Kapil Muni has incarnated, and as a son of Kadda Muni and mother Devahuti, he has given a Sankhya philosophy. He has given a Sankhya philosophy through his mother Devahuti. So that Mother Devahuti could liberated in the same lifetime by hearing the Sankhya philosophy. And later, Lord incarnated as Dattatreya. He became a renowned teacher and a sage. After that, the Lord has incarnated as 4 Kumaras. And 4 Kumaras are great eternal spiritual personalities, and they were born out of Brahma. And they were revered as a profoundly, they were revered as profound spiritual visionaries. And after that, Lord has incarnated as a Narayana. And with that context, the previous verse and this verse was spoken. And what is the qualities of Nara and Narayana? We all know that yesterday we heard that how Indra, by his insecure feeling, that he sent all celestial women to disturb Nara Narayana. Nara Narayana is exemplifying the ideals of penance and austerities. You know how when we take a birth, how one can practice austerities and penances. That's what he is they both are exemplifying it. So we have to learn from them. Even from any disturbance, we should not be disturbed from our penances and austerities. What is our penances and austerities? Our penances, our regulative principles, 4 regulative principles. At any cost, we should not be deviated from our 4 regulative principles. We will not be able to do it the way Nara and Narayana was doing, but at least in our level, as Prabhupada has given us for us, the 4 regulative principles and devotional service, from that we should not be deviated for any temptation. Okay? And in the context, now this particular text was spoken. Let us read this text and understand what Lord Brahma was trying to say. We will discuss. Kamam dahanti krutino nanurosha drushya Rosham dahantam utitena dahantya sahyam Soyam yadantara malam pravishan bibeti Kama katam nupunarasya manah shrayeta Kamam dahanti krutino nanurosha drushya Rosham dahantam utitena dahantya sahyam Soyam yadantara malam pravisham bibeti Kama katam nupunarasya manak shreyata Kamam dahanti krutino nanurosha drushya Rosham dahantam utite na dahantya sahyam Soyam yadantara malam pravishan bibeti Kamaha katam nupunarasya manashreyata Anybody want to repeat? Kamam dahanti krutino nanurosha drushya Rosham dahantam utitena dahantya sahyam Shoyam yadantara pravishan bibeti Katam manashreyata Kamam dahanti krutino nanurosha drushya Rosham dahantam utitena dahantya sahyam Soyam yadantaralam pravishan bibeti Kamam kadam tunupuranasya manashreyata Kamam dahanti krutino nanurosha drushya Rosham dahantam utitena dahantya sahyam. Soyam yadanta malam pravishan bibeti. Kama kadam nupunarasya manashreyata. Word to word meaning. Kamam, lust. You will repeat? Oh, one by one, right? Sorry. Kamam, lust. Dahanti, chastise. Kritino, great stalwarts. Nanu, but. Rosha drushya, by wrathful glances. Rosham, wrath. Dahantam, being overwhelmed. Uta, although. Te, they. Na, cannot. Dahanti, subjugate. Asahyam, intolerable. Saha, that. Ayam, him. Yat, because. Antaram, within. Alam, however. Pravishan, entering. Bibeti, is afraid of. Kamaha, lust. Katam, how. Nu, as a matter of fact. Punah, again. Asya, his. Manah, mind. Shreyate, take shelter of. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Great stalwarts like Lord Shiva can, by their wrathful glances, overcome lust and vanquish him. Yet they cannot be free from the overwhelming effect of their own wrath. Such wrath can never enter into the heart of him, the Lord, who is above all this. So how can lust take shelter in his mind? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Lord Shiva was engaged in severely austere meditation, Cupid, the demigod of lust, threw his arrow of sex desire. Lord Shiva, thus being angry at him, glanced at Cupid in great wrath, and at once the body of Cupid was annihilated. Although Lord Shiva was so powerful, he was unable to get free from the effects of such wrath. But in the behavior of Lord Vishnu, there is no incident of such wrath at any time. On the contrary, Bhrugumuni tested the tolerance of the Lord by purposefully kicking his chest. But instead of being angry at Bhrugumuni, the Lord begged his pardon, saying that Bhrugumuni's leg might have been badly hurt because his chest is too hard. The Lord has the sign of the foot of Bhrugupada as the mark of tolerance. The Lord, therefore, is never affected by any kind of wrath. So how can there be any place for lust, which is less strong than wrath? When lust or desire is not fulfilled, there is the appearance of wrath. But in the absence of wrath, how can there be any place for lust? The Lord is known as a Apta Kama, or one who can fulfill his desires by himself. He does not require anyone's help to satisfy his desires. The Lord is unlimited, and therefore his desires are also unlimited. All living entities but the Lord are limited in every respect. But then, how then can the limited satisfy the desires of unlimited? The conclusion is that the absolute personality of Godhead neither lust nor anger. And even if there is sometimes a show of lust and anger by absolute, it should be considered an absolute benediction. So, we can understand that sometimes Lord also shows his anger. So, there are incidents in our scriptures we can go through, and I can remember some of incidents like, Okay. Some of the incidents I can remember is, so when Amresh Maharaj was doing a Ekadashi Ratha, and when he was able to finish his Ekadashi fasting, by the time, when he wanted to take his prasadam, breaking the fast, by the time there is a Muni called Durvasa Muni, and he is known for his temper. He is known for his curses also. So he easily get angry and curse the people. So everyone knows about him, and Durvasa Muni visited Amresh Maharaj, and by the time when Amresh Maharaj, about to break his fast, but as a etiquette, and when somebody comes to our home, we will offer first to the guest, then we will take it. So Amresh Maharaj, offered prasadam to Durvasa Muni, but Durvasa Muni said that I will take bath and have the prasadam. Then he went to the river nearby, Yamuna river, and he went there, and he took late, by the time he comes back, it was late, and time was running out for Amresh Maharaj to break his fast, Ekadashi Rata. So he did not understand what to do. Then immediately he consulted some of the elderly person or sages who are conducting that, Rata, or who are present at the time. He consulted, then they advised Amresh Maharaj, take little water, so that it is not, you break the fast, at the same time you did not break the fast. So by taking that advice, Amresh Maharaj took small water and he broke that his fasting. Then by the time, Durvasa Muni came, and he understood that Amresh Maharaj drank water, and immediately he became frustrated, and out of frustration he became angry. How come? It is a disrespect, right? When guest comes, he felt like that. When guest comes, we should offer. And he has a high esteem about himself. So he could not tolerate that Amresh Maharaj took the water before he was fed. So immediately he created a demon out of his hair to kill the Amresh Maharaj. Then, that demon is chasing the Amresh Maharaj. Immediately, Amresh Maharaj completely surrendered to Lord's protection. And Lord immediately released his Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra came and killed the demon. And after killing the demon, the Sudarshan Chakra chased the Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni is running and running. He wanted to take shelter from the Sudarshan Chakra. But he went to all the planets, upper, lower and intermediate planets, but nowhere he could shelter. He went to the Brahmaloka, and Brahma said, no, I cannot help you. And he went to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva also said no. And he went to Lord Vishnu also finally, but Lord Vishnu also said that I will not be able to help you because you offended my devotee. So you go and take forgiveness from devotee so that my Sudarshan Chakra will be withdrawn. And immediately Durvasa Muni, all the way he come back to the Durvasa Muni, and he fell at the feet of Amresh Maharaj. And Amresh Maharaj is so compassionate, and immediately he forgiven Durvasa Muni. Then Sudarshan Chakra was withdrawn. So this is one incident where Lord has shown his anger because his devotee was offended. And other incident, and one more incident in Prahlad story. We all know that when Prahlad Maharaj was tortured like anything by all the means, whatever ways we have, all the ways Hiranyakashipu is used to kill the Prahlad Maharaj. He attempted to give poison and throwing him into the pit of venomous snakes, and throwing him in a cliff, and trampling him with elephants, and tortured him and starving him. And all the ways he did to torture and kill the Prahlad Maharaj, but he could not do it. And finally he thought that with his hands he wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj. He called and he had some discussion with conversation with Prahlad Maharaj. Why you always pray to Lord Vishnu? He is my enemy. Can you show him? You all know that he says that anywhere you can find him. And immediately Hiranyakashipu asked, can you show your Lord in this pillar? by the time Lord came and stay in that pillar, and the moment he, Prahlad Maharaj confirmed that anywhere he can be there, anywhere. So immediately Hiranyakashipu, break that pillar, and out of that pillar, Narasimha Swami came, and we all know that he killed Hiranyakashipu. But he did not get satisfied after killing the Hiranyakashipu. He still angry. His anger did not get pacified. So Lord Brahma came to Prahlad Maharaj, and nobody is daring to go before Narasimha Swami, because he is so angry and he is roaring like anything. Nobody is there to go before him. And Lord Brahma approached Prahlad Maharaj and told him that, can you, Lord has come for to protect you, and you only can pacify him. Then Prahlad Maharaj went to approached Narasimha Swami, and he offered prayers, and after offering prayers, Narasimha Swami get pacified. After pacifying, Narasimha Swami asked Prahlad Maharaj to ask for some benedictions. Then Prahlad Maharaj said that I don't want anything, except I always engage in devotional service onto my spiritual master, Narada Muni. Then Narasimha Swami asked, you can ask one more. Then he asked that, please forgive my father. So Narasimha Swami forgiven his father and liberated him. So even that is the statement is, it is confirming here. Even if there is sometimes a show of lust and anger by the absolute, it should be considered an absolute benediction. In a two instance, we could understand that even Lord showed his anger, but that turned as a benediction for the people who was shown as, who was affected by Lord's anger. They were killed, but ultimately they got a liberation. Even you can see in the Gaura Leela, Jagai and Madai. And on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur went to every street and preached the Harinam. And that is the instruction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur went to every street, and they learned that there are notorious brothers, Jagai and Madai. They are like, there were no sins that were there they did not commit. They committed every sin that existing in this material world. That much sinful they were. And as a embodiment of mercifulness of Lord Nityananda, he wanted to reform those two brothers, and they both approached Jagai and Madai and asked them to chant Hare Krishna mantra, but they did not chant. Instead of not chanting, Madai struck Nityananda on his head with a clay pot and causing the bleeding to Nityananda. And knowing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rushed to the screen with sore anger, and he wanted to kill the Madai. And immediately he wanted to release his Sudarshan Chakra. But by seeing that, Nityananda Prabhu immediately fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he reminded him that this incarnation is not for killing the demons, but killing the characteristics of the demon. So by hearing that, by seeing that devotion of Nityananda Prabhu, immediately Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pacified, and he forgiven the both brothers Jagai and Madai, and he preached Hare Krishna mantra to both of them, and they both became great devotees, and they both were liberated. So this is one of the incidents that Lord has shown his anger to liberate fallen conditioned souls. And because he has shown his anger, because it is not like he was offended, but his devotees got offended. So that is the line Prabhupada has mentioned here. And one more profound episode that we can see in the Mahabharata. And when Arjuna and Bhishma Dev, the fight between Arjuna and Bhishma Dev. And on 10th day of Kurukshetra war, Bhishma Deva told to Duryodhana that I will fight today with my full strength, and at least I will kill one of the Pandavas. At least he assured that I will kill Arjuna. Then with full force he started fighting with Arjuna, and he has a lot of celestial weapons because he was taught in heavenly planets. And he used all his celestial weapons on Arjuna, as Arjuna could not defend him. And by seeing Arjuna's position, Krishna became so moved, and he wanted to save Arjuna. He got down from chariot, and he took one of the wheel of the broken chariot and charged against Bhishma Deva. You could see that picture, right? Krishna is charging against Bhishma Deva with the wheel of the chariot, and when seeing that scene, you can see that in a Bhishma Shruti. I think Bhishma Deva is nicely glorifying Krishna's qualities, Krishna's beauty, and when Krishna was charging against Bhishma, Bhishma Deva immediately dropped all his weapons. And he opened his arms to welcome Krishna, to take a divine blow from Krishna. And by seeing this scene, Arjuna immediately ran after Krishna and fell at the feet of Krishna and held him back, because he doesn't want Krishna to charge against Bhishma Deva, because Krishna took a vow not to take any weapon in the war. So he reminded him by his vow and pacified him. By seeing again Krishna, by seeing Arjuna's compassion and devotion, he dropped that wheel and he went back to chariot and he started guiding Arjuna. This is one of the instances that we can see that Lord showed his anger when his devotee was offended or in a trouble. So that is one of the reasons he comes to this material world also. And even Narottama Das Thakur also writes in his some of the songs, Kirtans, and he says that Haristane aparade tare Harinam Tomastane aparade nahi paritran. Harinam can deliver one who offends to Lord directly, but one who offends to devotee of the Lord, there is no means of deliverance. Harinam cannot deliver that person. It is even described as a biggest aparad, mad elephant, and it compares with mad elephant. So we will not be able to get free from the offense that we commit to a devotee of Lord. Okay, this is also confirmed by Narottama Das Thakur. And what we can learn, these all things are already there in the scriptures, whatever the pastimes that I just narrated, these are all there. But what is the lesson that from out of this text we can draw it? So what he is saying that even Lord Shiva was engaged in severely austere meditation. Cupid, the demigod of lust, through his arrow of sex desire. Lord Shiva, thus being angry at him, glanced at Cupid in a great wrath, and at once the body of Cupid was annihilated. Although Lord Shiva was so powerful, he was unable to get free from the effect of such wrath. So what we can learn, the wrath, once we are in this material world, and we will be influenced by three modes of material nature. We all know that. What are three modes of material nature? Mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of goodness. We will not be able to get free from these modes unless we take a shelter of Lord, lotus feet. So if you can sit back and understand what is the root cause of our anger, and Krishna is confirming in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, that when we keep contemplating on some objective, we develop some attachment for that, right? Dhyaito Vishyan Pumsha. So we will develop some attachment to that objective. And slowly that attachment turns into desire to enjoy. Right? We wanted to enjoy it. If we see the beautiful thing, something, and slowly we get attachment. After that attachment, we will have the desire. Some desire arises in our heart to, have it, or to possess it, or to enjoy it. So that desire will develop. And after desire, if that desire is not fulfilled, what will happen? We will get angry out of it. Lust is nothing but a desire. Lust means, we cannot take it as, literal meaning of lust. Lust means our desires. Okay? How desires will come? Krishna is clearly explaining in Bhagavad Gita. Lust is a root cause of lust is when we have some attachment for our activities. We do some activities and we expect results out of it. And if we don't get that result as we expected, what will happen? We will be frustrated. And out of frustration, we will get angry. Right? This is the sequence. And even if you go further one level deep beyond that, and we can understand that we will not separate desires from soul. How? If you take a fire, okay, what is the inseparable quality of fire? Is a heat. Heat is the inseparable quality of fire. And if there is a fire, you can expect there is a heat. And similarly, if you take a water, okay, what is the quality of water? Liquidity, right? Liquidity you cannot take out from the water. These are the inseparable qualities of water. And similarly, inseparable quality of soul is desire. No, you cannot remove from soul. But you can direct your desire in a right direction. So, for that we should have a knowledge, spiritual knowledge. So, the root cause of suffering is lack of real spiritual knowledge. If you ask any Buddhist, they say that what is the root cause of suffering? They say that the root cause of problem is desire. But desire, how can you stop it? You cannot stop your desires. Because by default, we have that quality. We will not be able to remove our desires from soul. So, but we can direct our desires in a right direction. If we are not able to pose our directions, our desires in a right way, what will happen? Our desires will lead into our distraction. Right? That's what Krishna is also saying. That will take us or fall down. So, what are the other reasons we will get anger? Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, and before that, we all were happy when we were with Krishna in Vrindavan, okay, in the spiritual world. And where we have a loving feelings, loving devotional service on to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we all know that this material world is just a reflection of the spiritual world. And when the pure love of Krishna, when it comes to the material world, it turns as a lust. Okay, it is just a perverted reflection of pure love. When it is there in the spiritual world, when it comes to the material world, it becomes like lust. Okay, with that lust, we develop anger. If we are not able to fulfill our desires, lust, that situation becomes a angry situation for us. We will not be able to control our anger, because we have an expectation and we did not, or we will, if we know that we are not able to meet that expectation, out of that, if we have a strong attachment for the result, and if we don't get that, what will happen? Frustration will come, and frustration leads to anger. So this is the sequence, Krishna already described in the Bhagavad Gita. And even he is telling that in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, what he is saying that the root cause of anger is the kamesha, krodesha, rajaguna, samudbhavaha. He is saying that kama and krodha will come, are born out of mode of passion. So mode of passion is the root cause of our krodha and our kama. So kama is, even in Sanskrit, kama is called, one word is kama and the other word is kamanuja. Sorry, anger. One more word of krodha is kamanuja. Kama anuja means one who is anger brother of kama. Kama is lust and anuja. Who is the anuja of kama is anger. When you see that kama and you can expect there is a krodha also. And if somebody is anger and you can expect he is somehow frustrated not to meet his desires. That led he's either he did not get satisfied by the desires that he has, or he feels that he is the doer, or he has a doer mentality ship that no, I am the doer and I can do it. If we feel that, and if we end up with not able to do the things, then ultimately we end up with anger. So many incidents we can see that in one of the incident that one of the great pop singer, he was singing, he was very famous, and in the middle of the show, he was smoking, during that show, and while a show is going on, he puffed up and he, threw a ring of smoke, and he said, "This is for you, Lord." He said that he has a confidence that he is doing everything, but by end of the same program, and he got the heart attack and he died. And there are many incidents like that. And one of the country's presidential candidate, he gave a statement that if I get 5,000 voters, 5,000 votes for me, and believe me that nobody can defeat me. Even Lord comes also, he cannot defeat me. And what happened to that person? In one day before the elections are released, he died. Out of anxiety, he died. So there are other incidents also. If we think that we are the doers and expect that frustration out of it, if we are not able to get that result or whatever we feel that it should come in our way. And there are other things also, like if anger comes when we expect somebody to act as we want them to act, right? For example, I have expectation from you that I want you to act in a way I want you to act. If you don't act the way I want you to act, what will happen? I will get angry and I will shout at you. Why I shout at you? I shout at you so that I want to control you. The controller ship immediately comes. When I am not able to control you, I will show my anger by shouting at you, and I release the harsh words at you. So this is one of the reasons we will get angry. And what are the ways that we can control our anger? The one way is we have to recognize why we get angry. It is out of our need or out of our wants. If it is out of need, it's okay to fulfill our fulfill our need. But if it is out of want, wants are unlimited. If you fulfill one want and another want will come. And if you fulfill one more want, and it will give you one more want. And it will be ever ending. You cannot fulfill your wants. But whereas if you can identify it is a need so that you can satisfy that need, then it is okay. Further you may not get one more need. At least for that situation you will be able to manage it. And if you understand that need is absolutely required to progress in spiritual progress or spiritual journey, it's okay to get that need fulfilled. But if it is the want which does not relate to our spiritual progress, you just think of it and just leave it. We don't require it. That's how we can control our anger. And one more thing, repentant. You can repent for why you became angry. And if you start becoming repentant for why you became angry, then next time when you encounter the similar situation, what will happen? You can reminded by previous situation and you can control your anger. I'll give one example here, that there is one boy, he often gets anger, very often. And wherever he goes, he shouts at people, and nobody is there in his group that he did not shout at them. And he shouted at everybody and everyone. And he wanted, one day he realized that he doesn't want to become any more angry, and he wanted to control his anger. And he went to his father and he asked, "Father, can you help me to control my anger? What are the ways to do it?" And his father told him that, "Okay, I'll give you one suggestion to follow it." And his father gave a bag of nails. And he told him, "Go to the backyard, and where there is a wood fence. And you go there, and whenever you get angry, and go there and hammer one nail onto the wood fence, so that you can understand how many times you will get angry in a day." And he started doing it, and every time when he gets angry, and he went back to the courtyard in the backyard, and he put one nail. First day he hammered 40 nails, and 40 times he got angry. And he got surprised by seeing 40 nails. And next day he went, it reduced to 30, and next day 20, and like that, he one day he came to that he did not get angry at all. Somehow, as time progressed, he controlled his anger, and one day finally he did not get at all angry, and he so happily went to his father and told him that, "I did not get angry at all today." Then his father became so happy and said that, "Okay," and his father took him into, and his father told him that, "Do one thing now. So now whenever you control your anger, you go back to the same place and remove one nail from the fence." And again he did the same thing. Whenever he controls his anger, he went back to the backyard and he removed one nail every day, and finally he removed all of them. And the day has come, he did not get at all angry, and there is no situation of controlling his anger also. All nails were removed, and he went to his father again. He happily told him that, "Now I am free from anger." Then his father took him his hand, and they both went to that place where this boy hammered all the nails. Now his father became so happy seeing that the fence, and child expected that father is so happy by seeing that. But father explained, "See that now this fence has so many dents, right? Every time when you put a nail, there is a dent on the wall. So similarly, whenever you shout at the people, their hearts also become a dent. So you understand how many dents you has given to all the people who interacted with you. So when you feel repenting for what we are doing, definitely it helps. Fire of repentance will burn all our reactions. Even it gives a knowledge to act in a proper way. This is the instance we can understand easily. If we have a previous situations, and if we feel for repenting on those things, definitely those help us to not to become angry when we encounter similar situations. And one more way of doing is, when we get anger, you should able to control it. One way is resisting your anger. What are the ways of resisting our anger? Resisting is like, when you know that you are getting anger, and you should be able to control your anger. How? I'll give one example. You will be able to easily correlate that. You all know that Alexander the Great, right? So when he was coming, he was going via India, and India is famous for saintly persons, and when he was going via India, and he learned that there is a saintly person, and he wanted to take his, otherwise he wanted to meet that saintly person, and Alexander the Great, he sent his soldiers to the saintly person and asked him to come to meet him. And they all went to him and said that Alexander is calling you, please come and meet. Then immediately this sage said that, no, I don't want to come. If he wants to meet me, let him come to me. So soldiers went back and said that sage doesn't want to come, and he want you to come and take his darshan. And Alexander Great, you know that he is such a great person, highly egoistic person, and immediately his ego busted, and he became so furious, and he said that I don't want to come, and again you go and ask him to come, otherwise I will kill him. And soldiers went, but still he resisted and he did not come, and finally Alexander came to saintly person, and he stood outside of that place where sage was staying, and he said that ask him to come out. And soldiers went inside and said that Alexander came, and can you come out? That sage said, no, I don't want to come out. You please ask Alexander to come inside. So by that time, this Alexander's anger went to the peak level. He wanted to kill him. The sage with the swan, he went inside, and by seeing the sage immediately said, come, and please seated, and he addressed him, servant of my servant. And servant of your servant, I am servant of your servant, how come? Then he said that, you are so angry, angerness is my servant, and whenever I call, that anger will come to me. So your servant, you are used by anger, because you are servant of anger, not you are not using the anger, but you are used by anger. So by understanding that, he got realized that, oh my God, I am the servant of his servant. How come? Then he understood that he is used by anger. He is not using the anger. So many times in our life also, you understand that when situation comes, we are used by anger, right? But we don't use the anger. Anger is good. Sometimes we can call the anger whenever we want. And there are opportunities we can use anger in devotion. And even parents should use anger to train their children. And spiritual masters have to use their anger to preach or set right their disciples. There are many situations one can become anger. But anger should be used in a right time. And whenever he calls, anger should come. It's not like whenever, anger itself has to come and influence the person. So this is the one thing we should always remember, that we should control the anger, but anger should not control us. And even, even Srila Rupa Goswami is nicely explained in the Nectar of Instruction, right? Vacho Vegam, Manasa, Krodha Vegam. It is a urge to become angry. It is we are made of all these impurities. Even these three are the gate for hell. What are these three? Lust, anger, and greed. And when you trying to satisfy lust, what will happen? Greed will arise. Why? So when you are start satisfying your wants, again you will get one more, again you will get one more, and out of, you wanted to protect them, and greed will develop. And if you don't satisfy, anger will come. These three will destroy us. These three leads us to fall down. And one more thing that we have to understand, that we are not able to control our anger. With our capacity, we will not be able to. We should realize that we will not be able to control our anger with our ability. That we should realize it. By realizing it, what we have to do? We have to take shelter of higher powers. Higher powers like chanting Hare Krishna and reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and having a devotees association and spending time with reading scriptures. These are the things will help us. Even in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Srila Prabhupada says in the second chapter or third chapter, I don't remember, but he says that spiritual realization or transcendental realization and pious activities and deity worship and mercifulness, non-violence and studying scriptures under the strict regulations will help us in controlling all our anadhas. Or, it's not controlling, even they will help us remove from our heart. So we should always think that we are affected by three modes of material nature, and with our endeavor or with our capacity, we will not be able to control them. And we always should take shelter of higher powers like, Harinam and deity worship and devotee association. These are the things definitely will help us to progress in our devotion, and we can control our anger and desires. As I told you, desires is inseparable quality of our soul. We will not be able to remove them completely, but we can do one thing: we can direct our desires in a right direction. But putting our desires in a right direction, what we need a scriptural knowledge, the real knowledge. When we know the spiritual knowledge, we can have the desires. Those desires please Lord Krishna. Otherwise, the desires which take us in this material world forever, and we can take birth again and take birth again and again and again and again, and we will we will be there in this material world forever. So these are the anadhas. Here even Lord is calling out. Lord Shiva is not able to control his anger. What to speak about us? We are very tiny people. How can we control? We will be able to control when we take the shelter of higher powers. Otherwise, there is no chance. Even Srila Prabhupada also saying that some of the things like Lord Vishnu. Why Lord Vishnu is not influenced by kama or krodha? Because he is self-satisfied. Here it is, there is a word is written that apta kama, right? He is apta kama. He is self-satisfied. He doesn't require anything. Everything is emerging from him. Like when you have a owner of sweet stall, and if you want to offer something, he doesn't want. That is the context here also. When Nara and Narayana were doing a great austerity, and insecure feeling of Indra wanted to disturb Narayana, Tapasya. And he sent the celestial woman to disturb Nara and Narayana. So all celestial women came and trying to disturb, and for their surprise, there are more beautiful women came out of Lord's body Even yesterday, it was described from his tie, there is a woman came out, she is called Urvasi, right? She is most beautiful than the celestial, heavenly planet celestial woman. So you can understand, Lord cannot be disturbed by our endeavors or our attempts. Because Lord is unlimited. How can we disturb him with our limitedness? Lord has unlimited desires, right? Here it is, Prabhupada also mentioned that Lord is unlimited and therefore his desires also unlimited. All living beings are very tiny with respect to Krishna, unlimitedness. And if he has unlimited desires, how can we satisfy his desires with tiny efforts? We will not be able to. So there is no point that we will be able to, that is the point we should realize. With our material, even Lord Brahma also emphasizing that point, he is beyond material limitations. I told you, right, in the beginning, Lord was narrating these all things to Narada Muni. And he also emphasized that Lord's incarnations are beyond our limitations. So, what we have to learn from this, we should understand that we will not be able to control our anger with our own strengths. So we have to always take shelter of higher powers to control and direct our desires towards a spiritual journey. We have to just transform our material desires to spiritual desires. It is a journey. Even you can define what is Krishna consciousness. You can easily define that our journey from a kama to prema, right? Our kama desires to prema desires. If somebody asks what is Krishna consciousness, you can say that it is journey of from kama to prema. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. If you have any questions and if you have any comments, any corrections, sorry Prabhu, I did not wish you while you came here. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful class. Prabhu, sometimes anger is also required. Of course, in the one instance is Hanuma. And in our life, in materialistic life also, we need to have emotional anger just to control things. Sometimes it will help, I think so. And only we will pretend as if we are anger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it helps also.
Yes.
That way, and we will have to come out after that. Purpose is fulfilled. And as we normally say, easy tricks for controlling anger, count the numbers, or read some sloka, something like that. Count the numbers from 1 to 100, like that. By the time it takes now, it is very momentary.
By the time you already discharged your anger.
But we will wonder ourselves why we have acted in such a bad way, hurting the others for a simple thing.
Right.
Unnecessarily, we would not have done so much. As we repent, as you said rightly.
Yeah.
That repentance will definitely help.
Definitely, it is.
And by experience, we can control that anger. But emotional anger, to some extent, we in this material world, we will have to display.
Right. Even I remember one thing, that when we become angry, we become shameless. We don't even think who we are. And shamelessly we display our weakness. We may think that that is our strength, but that is our weakness. After that, once you are pacified, you can understand what you have done. Out of anger, I remember some of the incidents, like one mother was feeding milk to a baby, and she became so angry, even she could not control her anger at all. And while she was feeding to the baby, and her milk became poison, and the baby died. And one more incident I remember that there is some quarrel between husband and wife. They are fighting and they became so furious, and out of frustration, husband threw his children out of window. It really happened. And even you might have heard that Nepal princess, when he wanted to marry a girl, he got the rejection from his parents, said that no. Then he became so furious and anger, and he shot all the people who are there in the room, including his parents. So when we become angry, even I also experienced many times, we don't think what is happening. We give it everything as if we are the doers. Doership mentality will come, and we want to control that situation. But understand, we are not controllers. What we can control? Nothing. If we come out of that controllership mentality, then some extent we will be able to control our anger. Even today, during Mangalarati, one letter was reading that Prabhupada written that if you throw something on the water will get agitated and you will not be able to see anything at the bottom, right? And when the water comes steady, then you will be able to see what is there in the bottom. Similarly, when we reflect in the mode of goodness, we can see what is what. If we are agitated with the mode of passion or mode of ignorance, we cannot see anything as they are. And as you said that anger is required, and it should be servant of you, but you should not servant of anger. And anger should come whenever I call. So you come, then I take the charge of anger and control the situation. Or for good reason, not for to establish my supremacy, to control or to help other to progress in spiritual journey. For that reason you can use it. But again it is case to case and situation to situation. And sometimes we encountered with superiors. We should not, we should be very careful where we have to use our anger.
First of all, the person who is angry, he himself spoils because he gets high BP and all that.
Right.
He himself, his health spoils, first of all.
And I heard that when you get angry, your lifespan will reduce. Some lifespan will get reduced. And even when you are angry, there are some chemicals will be released, those are very harmful to us. And when we are in the mode of goodness, there are juices will release. Juices will help us to nourish our brain. So we try to have mode of goodness practice, and so that we always release the juices in our mind which helps us to progress in devotion. Even that is the reason in Bhagavad Gita also says that mode of goodness is a conducive situation for us to progress in devotion. Definitely it is also binds us, but it is helpful. One should go beyond the three modes of material nature. We have to come to the point of transcendental mode, beyond three modes. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रभु की जय।